Do you see me?
Yes.
We don't see you. I don't see.
No,
We
I don't
just
see you.
we see a Zoom user and a black background.
Start video now.
Yes.
There.
Jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay.
Jai Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara.
Jai
Good to
Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
see you. Well, first of all, thank you very much for agreeing to be part of our small project. My name is Dina
Okay.
Dayaldas, Bhagavati Devidasi, and we are running this project under supervision of Krishna Kshetra Swami, which you must be knowing, your god brother.
Yes.
And the whole idea is to create a book, History of Radhadesh. It's already now 45 years and so on. So, and of course, you are one of the key person to speak, to hear from, and to get input. So we are more than happy to have you on board, and Mataji Bhagavati.
Yeah, and it actually, we decided that there's no Radhadesh without Amsterdam. So we decided to start the history in Amsterdam and then move with the deities to Radhadesh and then leave Amsterdam for what it is and then continue with the history in Radhadesh. So
So
it's all
you're
about
going to
your
ask
time
me
as a
some
GBC
questions.
in Amsterdam as well.
Okay. You have a list of questions?
Yes, I have a whole list of questions. I would like to start, simple question. When did you become the GBC for Amsterdam?
Well, you're going to make me use my memory, right?
Approximately, was it 74 around?
I think I think before me, Hansa Duda was the GBC.
Yeah.
And I think there were some issues there. So a lot of devotees from Amsterdam, I think they came to Paris. And then after he left, I think I just became the GBC in Amsterdam.
Okay. Okay. Before that, were you already the GBC in France?
Yes, I was
Yes.
GBC in America, and then I came to France.
In America and in France?
What's that?
You were the GBC in part of America and in France?
Yeah, I mean, I was
Okay.
one of the original GBCs that Prabhupada called.
Yeah. Okay. What was your first impression when you came to Amsterdam?
I thought both the devotees and the people in Amsterdam were quite awake individuals. They were, I thought Europe was very awake. It was an awake time where people were looking for different, a more accurate understanding of reality and how to change it. And that was going on pretty much all over the world. But Amsterdam and Holland seemed a lot more open and liberal than America. And they were just very pleasant people, in my opinion. I think that goes back a long way, practically to past World War II, when they were very open to protecting the people who were being persecuted over there. So the
Yeah.
Dutch people in general were very clear-headed, I thought.
Okay. So was that when you became GBC, was that the first time that you were in Amsterdam? Or had you been in the temple before?
No, I think that was the first time.
That was the first time. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think
when
it was
you
wasn't
took
there a
over,
small place on the Herengracht?
okay, that was in the Herengracht already, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you took over, what did you see as the challenges in Amsterdam at the time, and the other side, the more positive things?
Well, I'm gonna go outside for a second. The challenges were everybody was new and learning how to get along with each other. And but other than that, you know, it was the general challenge of living in a community where you have people living together that normally wouldn't be living together. So just those personality issues, but because everything was centered on Sankirtan and spreading Krishna consciousness, all those differences evaporated basically. So I thought it was a very cooperative group of people.
Okay. Were you there in Amsterdam for the installation of Gornitai?
I think the deities were already there when I came.
Oh, really? Okay. So they had
I
Jagannath
believe.
and Gornitai at that time.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that was on the Heron Rack. Yeah, I believe they were there. Who
Okay.
installed those deities? Prabhupada?
No, Jagannath. Jagannath was Prabhupada. That was what they called the Amsterdam Mass. It's in one of the books. They
Okay.
call it the Amsterdam Mass. Is when they gave him fruit salad instead of fruit for the
Okay.
Yakya.
All right.
So that was in 72, Jagannath. I'm trying to find
Yeah.
out more about Gornitai, but it's kind of
Those
between
Jagannaths are in
Jagannath and
Radhadesh, aren't
then,
they?
sorry?
Aren't those Jagannath deities in Radhadesh?
Yes. Yes, they are in Radhadesh. Yeah.
All right.
I spoke with Malati, your god sister Malati, about the buying of Radha Gopinath, her independent action of heading over to India and buying Radha Gopinath and Lalita and Vishaka, and then ordering marble for altars and everything. What was your reaction and impression at that time? Because I heard a lot of different stories, and some people
Are
told
we
me that
talking about
Radha
Radhadesh
Gopinath,
or still the Heron Rock?
that was still the Herringgracht, yes. So she bought Radha Gopinath. She went to India. She bought Radha Gopinath, and there was no permission of Prabhupada. There was no permission of anyone. And then some people told me they were in a cupboard because they weren't allowed to be installed. But then Malati told me they were just in a cupboard because there was no clothes. But she did tell me that she met you in Paris at that time, and you asked her, "What are you doing here?" And she said, "Oh, I just bought Radha Gopinath for Amsterdam." And
Okay.
do you
And
remember that?
I do not. Who installed those deities?
Jayatirtha Swami, apparently. I don't know if you were there at the time, but they asked Jayatirtha Swami to install them.
So that was before I came.
That was in 76, I think. 76, 77.
All right.
It becomes difficult. That's too long ago, and you've seen so many deities installed. So too many temples, too many deities.
Well, no, I mean, okay, let's move on.
Okay, no problem. So I want to get your when Prabhupada left and you became the Zonalacharya, and then especially in relation, obviously, to the Amsterdam temple, how did that change go?
From what to what you mean?
When Prabhupada left in 77, when you became the Zonalacharya,
Okay. And what's your question?
well, how did that change go from being the GBC and then all of a sudden you were the zonal acharya? I heard from the Kunja that they really needed someone because all of a sudden the authority fell away. But
I mean, the change is you go from being a big brother to being a father, and you have disciples. I mean, Prabhupada became their grandfather guru, and I became their father. So before it was like me taking care of everybody like a big brother. That was a different feeling. It's like when you have your own children, it's a whole different feeling than when you're playing with your younger siblings.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different feeling that you have more sense of responsibility, and it's just a deeper heart responsibility presence. I mean, I don't care what people say about gurus and acharyas and all that. It's just, I know what I felt. Um, that it was just, you can always go deeper in spiritual life. You can go deeper in anything, material or spiritual. Then when your spiritual functions are to keep moving people towards liberation and freedom and love of God, it's a different level of responsibility. It's like, if the father passes, there all the instructions can be there, but still, the children can't be raised by letters alone. They have to have someone living who can guide them. Just common sense. They make a big issue out of it now, but if your father passes away and you're young, you can't grow up only on reading. You have to have somebody there to look at your personal character and your struggles and help you apply the learning that was left. I mean, for me, it was just, you had to rise to the challenge. That's all, whether you were ready to or not. It's like in Africa, for example, you have rebels killing whole families, and then you have children 10 years old taking care of 5 other children. So it's like you have to do the needful, whether you're ready or not, is you get ready. So there was a lot of change that had to go. People got caught up, like, what are the externals that are going on? But there was a lot of internal work going on besides what they saw as the ceremonial type functions. Anyway,
Thank
that's a
you for
whole long
explaining
book.
that, Prabhu.
What's
So
your next
thank you. This
question?
is a little bit what that what you expressed is a little bit what I got from the Kunjavasini as well. That need to have that person to take care of you, because the person you
Well,
had
yeah,
was fallen away.
that's the parampara system. You have
Yeah.
a living spiritual master, and if in the absence of it,
I think you're a little
you
bit
have
too far
Krishna
away
in
from
the
the
heart.
internet. You keep breaking up.
Okay. Um, let's
Prabhu, could you
see.
go a little bit closer to the internet, because you keep breaking up? You're a little bit too far away from your internet.
Okay.
You need to go a little bit closer. Sorry. Okay,
How's
thank
that?
you.
Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay.
So then, when and why got a decision made to find another place instead of the Heringgracht?
Well, it was like a golden age everywhere. Every country, at least in my zone of responsibility, was growing massively with children and devotees that needed a more facility for living. And it was a magical time, actually, because Krishna in every country found us a place. I mean, that's how I looked at it. It was, we might have been the instruments, of course, but there was New Mayapur, there was Radhadesh, there was Villa Vrindavan, there was Chaitanya College at the time in England, there was the beautiful place in Spain. They all seemed to happen around the same time. And I always saw it, this is part of Krishna's and Prabhupada's plan of taking the next step up. It was a big next step up everywhere, in every country.
Mm-hmm.
And the qualified people to manage it and build it, they were also there. So everything just happened in one sense, effortlessly. Sometimes you have to put in great effort. Prabhupada showed us that in India, the great effort he had to put in. But otherwise, Radhadesh was effortless, effortless.
Okay.
And New Mayapur, I mean, there was endeavors, obviously, but you could see Krishna was pushing the boat forward, whether we were ready or not. But it all happened simultaneously in about 5, 6 countries.
Mhm. Yeah.
The money was there, the people to build it was there. We had Machi Avatar, who was a designer in Italy. I think he was responsible for the altars in Radhadesh.
Yes.
And there was just total zonal cooperation. That
Yeah,
marked the
that
period.
is true.
It was just
That is
great
true.
cooperation, the way I think Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu envisioned a Vaishnava community being.
Mhm. Yeah.
And now it's a whole different story.
Well, I read on your Facebook you might be coming to Europe in the summer. Was that correct?
Yes,
That you
I've been
wrote it?
invited to Italy and Spain.
Okay.
And
If they invite you in Radhadesh, would you come? Because you might be surprised how beautiful Radhadesh looks now.
well, I've been
Village
seeing the
Chaitanya has
pictures.
done so much work in Radhadesh.
It's really a matter of if the leadership wants it and the devotees want it,
Okay.
that's fine. I'm not going to go anywhere against anybody's will.
No, I
I'm not
understand.
just going to appear. So,
I'll
you discuss it.
I'll ask and I'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean, I
I have
understand
one more
people.
Just
question.
to ask, is your Italy trip already confirmed in Spain, the dates?
I'm sorry. Oh,
Are your dates
well,
confirmed?
I think I'm probably be going at the latest in July, if not June. June, July, that area.
Okay. I'll check it and we'll let you know. I have one more question because we want to dedicate one chapter of the book to the visions of the different authorities that were here. And then I want to follow it up with a chapter about the visions of our second generation to get like a continuance for the future. So what was your vision for Radhadesh?
Well, first of all, it was to fix it up so that it can be inhabitable for the devotees and start working with the land. And I mean, the vision everywhere was the same, that it would be a place where it would have self-sufficiency, where people could come from all over the community nearby, at least. I mean, my philosophy in expanding was to try to start local and work your way out. So I envisioned that the local people would enjoy coming and meeting the devotees and seeing the land and the cows and participating. But it's like your chakra system. It's like you have to start with survival and work your way up. So everything, when I was there, we were just really building and cleaning the place up. And now everybody is taking it to a whole nother level, which is amazing. Amazing work being done there.
Yeah.
But are you making a lot of devotees there?
That is always a problem because we're in the middle of nowhere. And we still, like we had at the time, we had a problem with the French-speaking people. It is better now, but the local
You had a problem
people,
with what?
the French-speaking people, the local people, I don't know if you remember when
Oh,
we
the
came here,
French-speaking
they were
people.
really troublesome. So it is slightly
Yeah.
better now, but it's not that much. So we're having I don't know if you remember Nadia Bihari and Shabalika. They were doing the bakery here, and their son, Gopinath, their eldest son, he is running the Bhakta program, and he does the monk challenge every so many months, and then we get bhaktas from there. So the last few years, slowly that is changing, thanks to Gopinath, in fact. And we now have a
Well-
lady doing that for the Matajis as well.
Maybe less traditional conversion, more friends, and that integration with the
More
society is much
congregation.
stronger.
Yeah. Have you done a lot of work in universities?
Not anymore. We don't have the qualified people for it, unfortunately. We had a few people doing it, but lately that hasn't really happened. The problem is that we are a big tourist attraction. So we get so many tourists every year, and everybody is very busy catering for the tourists. So we do have a lot of tourists coming, and then the books go out because they buy books. They see a video of Radhadesh, they see the deities. So that is, and a lot of them come back. A lot of, we have school kids.
Why? I mean, there's universities in Belgium and Brussels
I
and
know, but
Antwerp.
somewhere or other it is, we have a few of those programs, but everybody is so busy with this at the moment, and we haven't. It
Well,
just
that's
hasn't
what Krishna
come
gave
about.
you.
Hare Krishna, you're broke up. No video.
Be the president of,
Sorry, you're breaking up.
For some reason.
right?
Yes.
I said, you never know. One of those tourists may be the president of a country one day.
Yes, that is true. So it is an interesting program.
Well-
We're getting a lot of school kids. Like at the moment, in school season, there's like 5, 6, sometimes 7 school groups a day that come. And they come later on. Sometimes they come with the parents, or now we get young couples coming with the children, and they say, I was here with school 15 years ago, and then now they come with their own family and they come and visit us.
Well, there you go. That's what
So
Krishna gave you
that
for
is
preaching.
the way it goes at the moment.
That's nothing to complain about.
No, we're not complaining.
It's very
Yeah.
different now. It's much more than we are mainstream. We are not counterculture anymore. Even
No, I
Hinduism
mean,
is
you have to take your cues from what Krishna sends, and
Yeah,
that's great if you get a lot of tourists. But still, you can have some like prasadam distribution clubs at universities. I'm sure Brussels is not far away.
Brussels is
Antwerp.
1.5 hours from here, but we do have a center in Brussels.
Yeah, they have to on Sundays rent a bus and bring students to Radhadesh.
Mhm. I used to
You
do
know,
that from Amsterdam, go for the weekend with people from Amsterdam
yeah,
to
that's
Radhadesh.
it's very easy. You advertise the feast during the week. You have a big bus that brings people there and brings people back, and you
Yeah,
know,
that's actually good. It's a good idea.
yeah, because you have to have the local young people come. They may not be joining a lot like brahmacharis and brahmacharinis in the past, but it's a different time, and universities are always a good place to begin.
Yeah,
That's you just rent a big bus and bring people for the feast
yeah. That
and
that
have
is a
them
good
see,
point.
and then they can come, and if they want, work for free on the farm with the cows, and you know
We have a volunteer weekend days now, like soon it's going to be once every month. Then I think the last time it was 20 people, and they come and they just come as volunteers for a day. Our temple president, Eka Chakra Prabhu, he gives them a class, and they have prasadam, and then they work in our permaculture garden. They work on the grounds. They
that's
do
what you
things.
have to do. You're doing it already. You have
Yeah,
good management there.
we do. We do. So
Any other questions?
no, I think that is it. So
Well,
I
I,
wanna
you know,
thank
I'll
you.
definitely,
If I have some more, can I just write to you on WhatsApp?
sure, sure,
Yeah?
absolutely.
I don't know if
You
you
can
remember
speak
me.
with
I
the
used to be
management.
Ravati. I don't know if you
Do you-
remember me.
Are you still connected with Vimukti Sangha?
With Vimukta Sangha. No, we never got married. He left, but he's here now. He's back in Radhadesh and he's doing the whole decoration thing. He is renovating the whole castle. And so,
Who's this, Vimukti?
yeah,
Oh,
I
well,
sent you
can
some
you have him
photographs.
contact
It's
me?
really beautiful.
Do you have my number? You have my information.
Yeah, I
Ask him
have
to
it from
come.
Dina Dial.
We
We
have
have your
only
WhatsApp.
messenger. We don't have
Yeah,
your number.
have Vimukti call me. Talk with the devotees. If they want me to come and they're fine with that, I'll come.
I'll ask Vimukta Sangha to. No, it's not Vimukta Sangha actually. I'm sorry. It's not Vimukta Sangha. I'm going to call him. He told me he was going to write to me.
Okay.
So I'm going to have contact with him and we're going to talk about things as well. He made me
Okay.
devotee at the time.
Well, write me any questions you have,
Thank you.
and I'll be happy to come see you all if that's the mood.
I'll have a look around and I'll let you know.
That would be great. That would be great. I'm
right.
much more, I'm late comer, but I saw so many photos from early 80s. That was the time.
Well, we'll see what Krishna has.
Actually, I have one more question for you. Sorry.
Okay.
Could you say something about the Sankirtan at the time?
About what?
Sankirtan, book distribution, whatever. You were Mr. Sankirtan at the time. So
Well, this was the way we kept Prabhupada in the center of everything. After he had left, we expanded the book distribution, and that was really the way to keep Prabhupada's presence alive, was that everybody knew that they were doing what he wanted, and they were very successful, so everyone felt they had Prabhupada's blessings. It's like people say Prabhupada wasn't the center. That's nonsense. Prabhupada was the center. One of the big ways was shown in the book distribution. And many people joined, and the books are being translated. There was, just like when Prabhupada was here, every new book brought excitement. And so we got to share in the excitement that Prabhupada felt when a new book would come out. That was the way of, that's why so many big things happened, even when after Prabhupada left. There was a lot based on the Sankirtan and the new temples and the deities, new deities. It was like, for many people, Prabhupada was still very much present.
yeah, I was just talking with Dina Dial that one of the best things from your time were these books, the great classics. Yeah. We have never made beautiful books like this since then. And they still, I mean, they're so old and they still look perfect.
We tried to do a good job.
They were really, really good.
All right, we'll give my best to the devotees, my love, and get back to me if you want to plan some kind of visit.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Hare
your
Krishna,
time and
all right. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Glories to Prabhupada.
Jai.